Senior Adam Delamont has participated in football and basketball. Adam is the son of Ray and Abby Delamont. Adam credits Mr. Alexak for making the greatest impact on him. He plans to attend college after graduation. Senior Ray McLean has participated in basketball, football, and track. Ray is the son of Judy McLean. Ray credits Mr. Hoffner and Mr. Yoakum for making the greatest impact on him. Ray plans to attend college after graduation. Senior Odell Parker has participated in baseball, basketball, and football. Odell is the son of Mark and Helen Jones. Odell plans to attend a four-year college or university to play football. Senior Brian Phillips has participated in basketball. Brian is escorted by Alfonso Phillips. Brian plans to attend Lakeland College after graduation. Senior Sean Turner has participated in basketball and track. Sean is the son of Mr. Edward and Mrs. Sylvia Turner. Sean credits Mr. Alexak and Mr. Taylor for making the greatest impact on him. He plans to attend Ashland or Syracuse to play basketball, high jump, and major in psychology. Senior Courtney DeGraff has participated in cheerleading. Courtney is the daughter of Kathy DeGraff. Courtney credits Mr. Taylor for making the greatest impact on her by encouraging her to become a teacher and make an impact on someone like he did for her. She plans to attend Golden Gate State University, where she plans to major in early childhood education. Senior Katisha Schaefer participated in cheerleading and softball. Katisha is the daughter of Johnny and Beverly Schaefer. Katisha credits Mr. Taylor as making the greatest impact on her. He was a great person and teacher. Katisha plans to attend college majoring in science or the arts. And finally, senior Kim Stancombe has participated in cheerleading. Kim is the daughter of Nancy Stancombe. Kim credits Mr. Taylor, Mr. Baylor, and Mrs. Peters as making the greatest impact on her. He plans to attend Bowling Green State University and major in early childhood education.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to John D'Angelo Gymnasium here in Painesville for another exciting game of Red Raider boys basketball here on WHHS Channel 30. I'm Mike Williams.
And I'm Mark Hackley.
And tonight, the Red Raiders will take on the Skippers from Fairport Harbor.
Well, Mike, the story for the Raiders once again is their winning streak, which is now at 7 games, with their victory over the North Rangers this past Tuesday with a final score of 72-56. 49 of their points were contributed by Ray McLean, who is ranked 6th in all of the area high schools in scoring, and Sean Turner, who is ranked 21st.
As for the Skippers, their overall record is 6-9, and they are second place in the ESC. They lost last Wednesday 64-60 to Beechwood. The last time these two teams met was earlier in the season, but the Raiders came out on top 63-54. The Skippers do have talented players, though, like Jason Lynch, who leads the area in blocks, and Ron Hibbard, who leads the area in rebounds and second in assists.
On another note, the Raiders' powerful offense averages about 69 points a game while only giving up 60. The Skippers only score 59.7 points per game and give up 58.9 points per game. And now let's take a look at some of our starting lineups for the night's game.
For Fairport Harbor, we have number 11, Sam Hess, number 34, Ron Hibbard, number 40, Jason Lynch, number 42, Ben Suzinski, and number 43, Cody Kapostasi.
And for your Harvey Red Raiders, we have number 42, Sean Turner, number 34, Ray McLean, number 33, Brian Phillips, number 22, Odell Parker, and number 31, Ivan Pinkett.
And it looks like it'll be Jason Lynch taking on Sean Turner for the tip-off here tonight. And this should be an interesting battle. Harvey winning 7 straight, hoping to keep that streak alive like we were talking about earlier. And here's a tip-off, and the Raiders are going to win it. Phillips gets the tosses over to Turner. Turner McLean for 3, and it's not going to fall. Delamont tries to get the rebound, doesn't get to happen, and Turner comes up with it. Now looking for somebody, tosses over to Odell Parker. Odell Parker, right wing, looking for somebody, getting in trouble there with the defense. Finds Sean Turner behind the arc and sinks it. 3 points for Sean Turner to start off the game. Now the Skippers start off with the ball with Lynch looking for somebody. The Raiders applying defense already. And they're going to lose it. Sean Turner's going to pick it up now at the top of the key. Toss over to Ray McLean. Ray McLean looked to have been fouled, wasn't called. Now gives it over to Odell Parker. Parker tosses it over to Turner. Turner to Delamont. Swings it out to Ray McLean, and Ray McLean was fouled.
Well, Mike, as we saw on Tuesday, the referees were foul crazy, as we could say. And tonight it looks like they're going to start off slow with the calls.
Well, we have a new set of refs here, so let's see how they react to all the calls here. And instead of Ivan Pinkett starting, it looks to be Adam Delamont, who will counter Jason Lynch and Robert Hibbard. Ray McLean puts up his first foul shot, and it's in. 4-0, the Raiders take a lead.
And as we saw earlier, Sean Turner made a three-pointer, and he's in the newspaper, and I believe he has 22 threes on the year.
And he was the player of the week in the Plain Dealer, and I'd like to give Sean my congratulations. Ron Hibbard now has the ball for the Skippers. Pass over to Jason Lynch. Lynch to Suzinski, and Suzinski just can't handle it. Raiders ball.
And Sean Turner will inbound it to Odell Parker.
Parker playing around with it a little bit there, but gets his composure back. Now going to take it up the court for the Raiders. Starts at the top of the key, looking, swinging over Turner. Doesn't happen, finds Delamont in the middle. Phillips going back door, trying to get the shot up, and it's going to be blocked there by Mr. Hibbard. Hibbard now taking up the court, swings it out to Jason Lynch. Lynch taking the quick 2, not going to happen off the glass. Kapostasi comes up with the rebound, looks to throw it back up, and doesn't get to go. Falls off the iron. Brian Phillips with a quick rebound. He tosses over to Turner, trying to get to McLean, and he throws it away.
Man, that's a little bit high for Ray. He is a tall guy, but not that tall.
Trying to do some more alley-oop action. Always making the crowd go crazy when that happens.
True, Mike. We saw a little bit of that actually on Tuesday.
Sam Hess now with the ball for the Skippers. Passes it over to Ron Hibbard. Hibbard's going to toss it over to, tried to toss it to Suzinski and overthrows him. And I don't know what Hibbard's thinking. Sean Turner now is going to inbounds it to Odell Parker. Parker's going to start it up, throws it over to McLean on the right wing. He's going to toss all across court to Sean Turner. Turner puts up the shot, doesn't get the fall. It's going to be rebounded by Kapostasi. Kapostasi trying to race down the court, tosses it over to Sam Hess. Hess is going to get it to Kapostasi. Now gives it up to Hess. Hess looking around, trying to give it to somebody. And they're going to get it to Lynch, and Lynch is going to toss it in for the first points of the game. 5-2, Harvey leads it. Sean Turner now has the ball. He's going to toss it over to McLean. McLean looking to get something started here for the Raiders. Gets it up to Parker. Parker to Delamont in the middle. Delamont's going to bring it to the lane and rejected by Jason Lynch. Go to Kapostasi, picks up, tries to lay it in, doesn't get to happen. Lynch tries to throw it up, doesn't get that to happen. Turner comes up with the ball, tosses over to McLean. McLean trying to lay it in, doesn't get to happen. Now Hibbard's got the ball. Hibbard's racing up the court and throws it right to Odell Parker. Parker to McLean. McLean's going to toss it to Turner for the easy 2. 7-2, the Raiders lead it.
And that's nice. As you can see, that Ronnie Hibbard, he can block some shots.
Well, they do have 2 big men in the middle, Hibbard and Lynch. Suzinski now with the ball is going to toss over to Kapostasi. Kapostasi to Hibbard. Hibbard trying to drive and rejected by Delamont. Hibbard picks up his own slap throw, throws it in, gets the 2 points for Fairport. 7-4 is now the score. Turner now tosses over to Parker. Parker trying to get the quick 2. And rejected by Jason Lynch. We talked about him earlier, being one of the top blockers in the area. And Suzinski had the ball, tried to drive it right wing, and Odell Parker knocked it out of the bounds. Cody Kapostasi now inbounds it. It's going to toss it over to Jason Lynch. Lynch back to Kapostasi. Kapostasi trying to 3. Jakes out McLean and gets the easy 2. Your score is now 76. Raiders lead it.
And Sean Turner bringing it down court. He's got his socks on tonight. Hopefully that's lucky.
He's going to toss over to Delamont in the middle, over to Phillips. Phillips trying to put it up. Got blocked by Suzinski, but he picks up his own rebound, and it looks like he was fouled there by Jason Lynch.
Well, Mike, in the last 7 games, Sean has brought his socks back, and in the last 7 games, we have won, so maybe that's a sign, Mike.
Maybe it is. We'll see tonight. So far, it's been a pretty close contest, though. Both teams have been playing pretty well. Sean Turner now with the ball at the top of the key. He's going to swing it over to Parker. Parker for 3. Doesn't get the fall. McLean picks up the rebound and tosses it in. Nice play by Ray McLean. Sam Hess will now start it off for the Skippers. Looking to get past the Raiders defense. Going to throw it cross court over to Kapostasi. Kapostasi thinking about 3. Instead tosses it over to Hess. And Hess is going to get stolen by Odell Parker. Parker's going to race down the court, slams it over to McLean. McLean tosses it to Phillips, and Phillips gives it up to Ben Suzinski. Now Suzinski getting pressured by the Raider defense. Tries to give up the ball. Gets his composure back. Now tosses Sam Hess. Hess to Lynch. And can't get it to fall. Adam Delamont with the rebound. That's what you got the big guy in there for.
And Adam Delamont, he's good at bringing the ball down.
Parker now with it. It's going to toss over to Sean Turner all alone on the right wing. Taking the 3. Gets it to fall. 3 points for Sean Turner. That's his second on the evening. Your score is now 12-6. Kapostasi now with it for the Skippers. Toss it over to Hibbard. Hibbard trying to drive the right, left wing. Doesn't get to happen. Suzinski comes up with it, and they're going to call Delamont in the foul. And let's see if he talks about it.
And no, he knows what he did wrong. Adam Delamont likes to get pretty physical down there under the hoop.
That's why you have that big guy down there, I'm telling you, to counteract Lynch and Hibbard. Number 44 and number 33 will now be coming into the game for Fairport. That will be Andy West and Aaron Donovan. Kapostasi over to West. West is looking for somebody being guarded by Phillips. Going to try to take it around. Well, Phillips is playing some great defense. So he's going to find Sam Hess in the middle. Ivan Pinkett rejects him. Ivan Pinkett, one of the shorter guys, not known for blocking like that, but he got it in there. He matches pretty evenly with Sam Hess.
He does. They're about almost the same height.
Hess is now going to find West. West trying to get around Phillips and doesn't get it to fall. Hibbard tries to tips it in, and it's going to be a Skipper's ball.
And as we've seen tonight, the Fairport Skippers defense is pretty decent, I'd say.
When you got one of the best blockers in the area and 2 big tall guys right down by the post, you know they're going to play some good defense. Andy West now all alone in 3 range, taking the shot, not going to happen, rebounded by Parker. Parker and the Raiders are racing down the court, going to toss it over Ivan Pinkett. Ivan Pinkett tried to set up, didn't happen, instead tosses it up and gets it to fall.
Nice shot by Ivan. Raiders take the lead now 14-6, 2 minutes 53 seconds to go here in the first period.
Kapostasi finds Andy West over by Phillips, and Phillips looks to have blocked him. Now Ivan Pinkett's going to toss it down to Parker. Parker settling up, squares up for a shot, doesn't get it to fall. Hibbard comes down with the rebound. Hibbard being pressured. He finds Sam Hess, though. Hess over to Kapostasi. Kapostasi for 3, and he just kind of tossed it along, didn't get to fall. Odell Parker comes up with the rebound. Parker now tosses it out to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett going to drive it and gets it in. 16-6. The Raiders lead it, and Fairport calls a timeout.
You know what, Mike? The Red Raiders' offense is since the beginning of the year has been playing a lot like more like a team, I'd have to say.
They certainly have. They don't care about individuality anymore.
Right, Mike.
And
Well,
go ahead.
well, since we have a second, let's check out our sponsors for tonight's game. And they would be
Johnson's Funeral Home,
American Roll Formed Products,
Bertone's Gas and Service Center,
DC Catering,
Artful Hand Studio,
First Church Congregational,
at Wicks End,
Repairs Unlimited,
Headlands IGA,
Lutro Insurance,
Scores Fun Center and Lasertron,
and Silvestro's Depot Cafe,
and we can't forget about Larry's Pizza.
Larry's Pizza and Boys, which is located in Fairport Harbor on High Street. It's a great place to eat, Mike.
They certainly do make some good pizza and wings.
I got some for the Super Bowl.
How were they?
Oh, definitely phenomenal.
Well, Ben Suzinski now has the ball, and he's driving it right through the defense of the Raiders, but he's going to stop now. Pass over to Donovan, and Ivan Pinkett's going to get called. certainly is getting physical early here. And it's surprising that the Raiders have this much of a lead, considering how good Fairport's defense can get.
I know, they have a lot underneath the hoop, so.
Well, this is the second straight game Harvey's played a good defense.
The Red Raiders are taking a good approach, though, shooting from the arc.
Suzinski now down by the post and tosses it in for 2 points. 16-8, the Raiders lead it. Odo Parker now has the ball for the Raiders. He's going to swing it out to Sean Turner. Turner going to drive it. Instead finds Phillips down by the hoop. Phillips tries to toss it up. Doesn't get the ball. Phillips picks up his own rebound. And he looks to have been fouled down there by Jason Lynch.
As you can see, there's not much of a shot right there under the basket. So what the Raiders need to do is keep it out from like right in front or right behind the arc.
Well, Phillips will take a trip to the line now. The first one for the Raiders. And he'll get that first one to fall. And it seems as if the Raiders have become a lot better in foul shooting.
Yeah, they have. I think they've been working on it in practices.
I'm sure they have. Mike Baker now comes into the game for Odell Parker. And Kevin Elson Jr. is also in the game for the Red Raiders. Phillips for his second shot, and he's going to get that one to fall as well. 18-8 is now your score. Hibbert's now going to start it off once again, and Turner's going to get the steal. Nice defense by Sean Turner, extending all his limbs, and he's going to drive underneath the hoop and gets it to go in. 20-8 is now your score. Suzinski now going to start it up for the Skippers. He's going to find Adam West. Trying to take the three, doesn't get to happen. Swings around Mike Baker and got blocked by Alston Jr. Tosses it over Suzinski, gets it to fall, basket, and the foul for the three-point play.
Potential three-point play.
(20-10) is now your score, and I believe this is the Skippers' second trip to the foul line this evening. Adam Delamont and Ray McClain coming into the game now, replacing Sean Turner and Brian Phillips.
And as we were talking about earlier, the Skippers are coming off a tough loss to Beechwood with a 64-60 loss.
Does not convert the three-point play, but Ray McClain can't pick up the rebound, and instead it goes out of bounds, and Fairport's going to get another opportunity here. Kapostasian inbounds it over to Suzinski. Suzinski for three, doesn't get it to fall. Delamont comes up with the rebound. He's going to find Mike Baker on the left wing. Baker looking to get around the defense, doesn't get it to happen. Pinkett's going to toss it over to Alston Jr. Now Jr. for three, bounces right out the rim and off the glass, and that should be called against Ron Hibbard.
And Ron Hibbard seems to remind us a little bit of Adam Delamont having a few words with the referee down there.
Well, he just seemed to reach right over Delamont's back trying to get that ball, and you just can't do that. Clay now looking for somebody, finds Delamont. Delamont tosses it over to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett to McClain. McClain for three. Doesn't get it to fall. Mike Baker trying to fight for the rebound. Doesn't get to happen. And it's going to be a Skipper ball. He was fighting down there with Hibbard. Almost got it, but just didn't get it to happen.
Well, the Raiders are playing some real tough defense here tonight.
They certainly are. Suzinski now with it for the Skippers. He's going to toss it over to Kapostasi at the top of the key. He's going to find Adam West on the right wing, being guarded by Alston Jr. He's going to toss it back to Suzinski. Suzinski back to West. West finding Sam Hessa in the middle, and he's going to get hacked by Ray McClain. And Adam Delamont's lucky that one wasn't called on him.
Adam gets a lot of fouls down there.
Sam Hess now going to get a couple of free shots and gets the first one to fall. And it seems as if Fairport is staying with the same nucleus of guys. They've only made a couple substitutions. It doesn't get the second one to fall, though. McClain comes up with the rebound this time. Tosses it out to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett trying to race down the court. Gets it over to Mike Baker. Baker back to Pinkett. Pinkett thought about this shot. Instead gives it up to McClain. McClain for three. Bounces right out. Unbelievable. And Adam West is going to get the rebound. Tosses it over to Ron Hibbard. Hibbard's going to try to get it out. Gets it to Hess. Hess to Suzinski. Suzinski for three. And gets it to fall in. Nothing but net. Your score is 20-14. The Raiders lead it. Ivan Pinkett now with it. Going to toss over to Mike Baker. Mike Baker trying to answer back. And goes right over the rim. Suzinski comes up with the rebound. Gets it out to Sam Hess. Hess racing down the court. Tries to get around Alston Jr. and is rejected. Nice block by Alston Jr.
And the Red Raiders are subbing in some guys early, so it's nice to see. But they got to be careful because, you know, it's really early in the game still.
Capostasi trying to get it over to Adam West, and that's the end of the quarter here. Your score here at the end of the first quarter is the Red Raiders 20, the Fairport Skippers 14. Well, I think now is as a good time as any to take a look at our sponsors here.
Alrighty, let's take a look at those sponsors.
And they are Larry's Pizza,
Douglas Route Insurance Agency,
WePlay.com,
Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Palutro Insurance,
Scores Fun Center and Lasertron,
and Silvestro's. You know, they got two great restaurants there for the sponsorships this evening.
Definitely, Mike.
So I'm surprised to see the Raiders come out and play such great defense.
I know, it's pretty much a defensive battle here tonight. You know, the Skippers aren't just giving points away, and neither are the Raiders. It's a pretty close game still. Raiders up by 6 with a 20 to 14 score here.
And 20 points is actually surprising to me to see in the first quarter here. Let's see what happens here in the second.
The one thing I've noticed, though, is Fairport hasn't really subbed in any guys, so hopefully they don't get tired out early.
Maybe their backups are just as good. We've yet to see yet. Hess starts with it. Is going to find Adam West on the left wing. West looking for somebody, gives it up to Hibbert. Hibbert's going to toss it to Capostasi, and they're going to call Odell Parker for the foul and no basket. And it just looked like Odell Parker tripped up there. I don't think that should have been called.
I don't know, Mike. The referees seem to be calling pretty fairly, though, so not going to complain too much about it.
Capostasi looking for somebody. It's going to be blocked by McLean, and the Skippers are going to get another chance here at that. Capostasi is going to find Adam West. West tosses out to Lynch all alone in three land. Doesn't get it to fall. Turner loses the rebound, and you can see he's a bit angry about that. I would be too if the ball was right in my hands and just lose it like that. Capostasi once again inbounds in for the Fairport. It's going to be stolen by Ray McLean, though. Ray McLean to Parker. Parker's going to have to slow it down. Instead, he takes a jump shot and gets it to fall. 22 to 14, the Raiders lead it. Hess now with it. He looks to be in a little bit of trouble by the defense. Parker comes up with a steal almost. And Hess now has the ball once again. He's going to stop there, and he's going to toss it over to Adam West. West looking for somebody. Ivan Pinkett tries to get the steal. He's going to race around and lay it in. Gets it to fall.
Nice by Ivan Pinkett with the steal and the basket.
And he looks to go for that three-point play now.
Let's see if he can get it. Well, Mike, earlier I had a chance to talk a little bit to Sean Turner, and we asked him what he thinks about the team from when the start of the season and now. And he's glad to see that the team's playing together. You do know that, you know, this year we have a new coach and everything, and it looks like the team has finally found a groove, and hopefully they can stay there.
I sure hope so too. 7 wins in a row, hopefully 8 tonight. Ivan Pink converts the three-point play. Now comes up with a steal with Turner's help. Turner laying around, doesn't get the ball. Pinkett cleans it up though and gets the 2 points. Hibbert now is going to toss over to Adam West. Almost got an easy 2 points there. Just didn't set it up right. Hess for the deep 2, doesn't get it to fall. And Parker is going to toss it over to McLean. McLean now racing up the court for the Raiders, and he's going to have to slow down a bit here. Instead, he's going to try to drive it. Turner comes up with it. Turner tosses to Ivan Pinkett. Ivan Pinkett pretty deep for that 3. Thought about it, didn't take it. Gives it to McLean instead. McLean gets it to fall off the front iron. Phillips comes up with the rebound. Turner now in the middle there, and doesn't get it to fall. Adam West comes up with the rebound for the Skippers.
You can see that Brian Phillips has got some talent pulling that rebound out of this guy.
Turner now trying to get the steal, and he's going to get called for reaching in. And that didn't look like a foul to me either, but maybe I'm just expecting basketball to be too physical.
Maybe it's another fouling fiasco here tonight.
Aaron Donovan now coming in for the Skippers. He'll be replacing Sam Hess. I think that's Hess's first break all evening. Donovan now to start it off for the Skippers. Looking for somebody, trying to set something up. Doesn't get to happen. McLean trying to steal it. It comes up with it, calls it. They're going to call traveling. I thought he called a timeout. But I guess that's what happens. Austin Jr. now coming in for the Raiders, and he'll be taking Ivan Pinkett out of the game.
Well, that's a tough call on traveling there. Apparently you're not allowed to roll on the floor with the ball.
Well, I guess that's what happens. Hibbard's now going to toss it Donovan. Donovan over to Lynch. Nice play by the Skippers for the 2 points.
And the Skippers have a little bit of theatrics in them, too.
Turner now going to toss it over to McLean. I thought he took the 3. Instead, Brian Phillips gets the ball stuck.
And we've seen that happen a few times in the last couple of games. That's pretty funny.
Pops out, though, and
Raider ball.
Parker's going to inbounds it now. Your score is the Raiders 27, the Skippers 16. And Zach Brubeck will be seeing his first action this evening, replacing Ray McLean. So let's see what the Raiders can do this time with the ball, hopefully not get it stuck. Parker calls for the break, and he's going to toss it to Turner in the middle. Turner's going to give it up to Phillips. Phillips had a lot of time to think about that and gets it to Paul. 29-16, Raiders lead it. Hibbard's going to get it around to Donovan. Donovan taking the 3, not going to fall. And Zach Brubeck comes up with his first rebound. He's going to toss it over to Sean Turner. Turner looking for somebody, trying to drive it through the lane. Gets it over to Parker. Parker turns around, gives it up to Phillips. Phillips back to Parker. Parker not quite behind the arc, doesn't get the shot to fall anyways. And Lynch is going to toss it over to Hibbard. Hibbard started up once again for the Skippers. He's going to toss over there to Donovan. Donovan's going to give it up to Jason Lynch. And gets it to fall. 2 points. 29-18 is now the score.
That was an easy 3 there for him.
Little Parker now to start off with it. It's going to give it over to Sean Turner. Sean Turner for his third one. Gets it to fall. His third 3 of the evening. That brings his total up to 25. The score is now 32-18. Raiders lead it by 14. Raiders playing good defense. Has to throw it cross court over to Donovan. Donovan gives it over to Lynch. Lynch looking and gets the 2 to fall. Austin Jr. now inbounds it to Sean Turner. Turner's going to take a break here. Instead drives it around. Kapostasi. Brubeck's going to toss it up. And gets the 3 to fall. Nice play by the Raiders. 35-20 is the score now. Kapostasi to start it. And that's going to go out of bounds on the Skippers. Raiders ball.
Well, Mike, this is an interesting game here tonight. A lot of 3s. It's nice to see, though. I don't think Ray McLean's had one yet tonight. Sean Turner's had 3. And it looks like Sean's trying to catch up to Ray in the scoring column.
He may do it tonight. Parker now going to drive the lane. Instead gives it up to Turner. Turner for another 3. Just bounces off the iron. Brubeck tries to come up with a steal from Ron Hibbard. And I think that's going to be a foul on him.
Ooh, what are they going to call? Maybe reaching, possibly?
I think that was it. Ray McLean looks to be coming back into the game now. And it was Lynch who we grabbed the ball out of, and Lynch is going to get to the free throw line. Brian Phillips will be taking a break. Well, I think the Raiders' strategy this evening was, hey, Fairport's got 2 big guys down in the post. Let's take the outside shot. I know we can do it. Odell Parker had 22 on the year before this game. Sean Turner now is 25. Ray McLean can shoot the 3. And we just seen Zach Brubeck make one. A lot of Raiders had that outside shot.
Which is good because it seems to be that the Fairport Skippers have a little bit of trouble stopping there.
And Lynch is going to miss his first on the 1-and-1. McLean comes up with it. It's going to toss it over to Turner. Turner is going to whip it over to Austin Jr. Austin Jr. gets rejected by Jason Lynch. Hess comes up with it. Hess looking for somebody. He's going to find Ron Hibbard. Hibbard's going to take it up the court. It's going to fall off Zach Brubeck's foot. Hey, I guess you do whatever it takes, huh?
Yeah, whatever it takes to stop that ball. I've noticed that that's also Sean Turner's strategy, too. Get up in the air, just get them feet and hands out, and don't let the ball get past you.
Well, we can give that up to Todd Hartman, Mr. Hartman, excuse me, coach of the assistant varsity coach. And that was a nice shot there by the Skippers, but it didn't get the fall. And that'll be Jesse Yano coming in the game now for the Skippers. That's his first action he's seen all night. Odell Parker tried to toss it to somebody. Jason Lynch comes up with it, though. And Turner, 2 blocks in a row. Nice defense there by Sean Turner.
Sean Turner doesn't mess around.
Capostasi now to start off and gives it over to Sam Hess. Hess looking to get something set up. It looks like he's trying to set up a pick. Didn't happen, though. Yano must have not read it correctly. Capostasi now with it, looking for somebody. He's going to find Lynch. It's going to be stripped by Ivan Pinkett. A little bit of scuffling there with the ball. Ivan Pinkett finally tossed over to Austin Jr. Austin Jr. to Turner. Turner is going to be fouled. Looks like he almost lost it there.
Yeah, it was close.
35-20 is still the score. Raiders lead it now by 15. 3:14 to go in the first half.
Well, Mike, since we got a second, might as well take a look at those 2 blocks by Turner over there in the corner.
Turner just playing some great defense twice in a row. Unbelievable.
And we've seen a lot out of Sean Turner the last couple games here. He's been kind of the all-around player. Definitely strong on defense, and, you know, he's had a couple great games on offense. So let's see what he does here again tonight.
McLean now going to start off with it. Gives it over to Pinkett. Pinkett to Turner. Turner thinking about another 3. Doesn't get it to fall. Ron Hibbert comes up with it for the Skippers. Hibbert's going to toss it. No look to Jason Lynch. And they're going to call that on Sean Turner.
Ooh, tough call. That was nice by Sean Turner. Good defense trying to get up there and block that ball away from the hoop.
Got to admit, that was a nice pass from Hibbert, though. No one was expecting that.
I agree.
Jason Lynch now going to get 2 free shots here. And he'll get that first one to fall in. 35-21 now. We have 2 players coming into the game now. Brian Phillips for Sean Turner and Adam West for Ron Hibbert. We'll get set up now, and Jason Lynch will take his second shot. And he won't get that one to fall, but Adam West comes up with the rebound. He's going to get it over there to Sam Hess. And now it's going to be Donovan with the 3-point and gets it to fall. 35-24. Raiders still lead it. Ray McLean now with it. He's going to give it over to Mike Baker. Baker back to McLean. Fairport trying to install some defense now. And Ivan Pinkett for 3. Rolls off the iron. And Hess tries to save it but doesn't get it to happen.
Well, it looks like the Raiders are trying to take a lot of the 3s, so let's hope they perform a little bit better with that. So far tonight, Sean Turner's had 3 and Zach Bruback's had 1.
Well, they can also start taking that intermediate shot, the 15-footer. Ivan Pinkett now with it. It's going to find Delamont all alone in the middle. Skipper swarm him as he misses that shot. West comes up with the rebound, tosses it to Donovan. Donovan to Hess. Hess going to race up the court now for the Skippers. Gets around Ivan Pinkett. Mike Baker now playing some good defense. He's going to find Lynch. Lynch going to toss it to Donovan. Donovan holds on to it. They're going to call Lane on that one.
Definitely reaching in on that one. The Raiders aren't messing around tonight. They're trying to get that ball out of there, score as much points as they can by the half.
And there was Mr. Mike Mockner, the athletic director here at Harvey High School. An interesting thing is he came from Fairport, so I wonder who he's rooting for this evening.
Hopefully the Raiders.
Aaron Donovan takes his first shot and gets it to fall. The score is now 35-25. And Fairport has quickly cut the deficit to 10.
But, Mike, Mr. Mockner is a Harvey graduate, so maybe he's sticking with the roots.
Let's hope so. Donovan with his second, and that one's not going to fall. Delamont comes in with the rebound. Delamont's going to toss it to Parker. Parker's going to come up the court here.
You know Odell Parker's looking for that 3.
Well, I'm sure you can taste it. Parker instead going to try to drive the lane. He's going to throw it over to Phillips. Phillips wasn't ready. Mike Baker cleans it up, though. And that's going to be, I believe it's still going to be a Raiders ball.
Looks like Phillips is a little bit shaken up after that.
Sean Turner coming back into the game now, taking out Adam Delamont. Odell Parker inbounds it now. He's looking for somebody. Gets it over there to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett's going to swing it back to Parker. Parker for 3. Doesn't get it to fall. Right off the iron. Aaron Donovan's going to get the rebound. Almost stripped there by Mike Baker. Now Hess has it. And the Raiders are just playing some good defense. Now Jason Lynch comes up with it. Looking for somebody. Gets it to Jesse Yano for 3. Bounces right out of the iron. Turner comes up with it. Swings it out to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett is going to step it up for that 2. Doesn't get the fall. Mike Baker comes up with it. And he bounces it out of bounds.
Oh, and Looks like Hess is a little bit of shoving on Baker.
Well, it is going to be a physical game. Hopefully no one's going to get called for a technical, though. Last week, Ivan Pinkett got called for a technical. Getting a little rough with the North players.
Yep, we saw that.
Sam has to start things up now once again for the Fairport Skippers.
Tuesday was an interesting game, I'd have to say.
The Raiders did extend their win streak and came away with the win convincingly. Skippers trying to get up something, and Jesse Yano gets the 2.
North Rangers were a tough team, but the Red Raiders overcame them.
Sean Turner tosses up his shot, doesn't get the fall, and I think Jason Lynch helped out on that one. And before those 2 points, the Skippers were going on a 7-0 run. And hopefully the Raiders broke that, but we'll see what happens here on this possession. Hess now with it, going to toss it over to Kapostasi. Kapostasi to Donovan. Donovan to Lynch on the inside. Turner trying to block. He's going to swing it around to Yano. And Yano right there for the 2. 37-29. Odo Parker receives a cross-court pass from Turner and is rejected by Jason Lynch. I think he's had about 3-4 blocks this evening.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. That was a nice pass. Just a bad spot. You know, the entire Fairport Skippers defense was down there.
Parker looking for somebody. He's going to toss it way out there to Mike Baker. Baker's going to give it up to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett over to Sean Turner. Turner's going to find Phillips. Phillips tries to drive it, and he looks to have been fouled.
And I think he might be going to the line.
And that, I believe, was on Jason Lynch.
And Phillips, he's got a pretty decent foul shot, so see what he can do here.
Well, there's only 21 seconds left in the half here. And hopefully Harvey can extend their lead here before going to the half. Phillips tosses up his first and gets it to fall. And in fact, that foul was on Aaron Donovan, not Jason Lynch. Delamont now coming in to end the half. Turner coming out. And for the Skippers, Adam West is coming in, and Jason Lynch is going to sit. Phillips going to take his second shot here now. And he'll get that to bounce off the front iron, and
it was going to be
against the Raiders, that'll be Mike Baker. Just trying to get that rebound there. A little physical.
Well, you can't say that the Skippers aren't putting up a fight, because they are. Same with the Raiders, just trying to get that ball.
Kapostasi now will get his foul shots. So far, both teams have been doing pretty well from behind that free throw stripe. He gets his first one to fall. The score is now 38-30. Raiders still lead it, now by 8. Kapostasi now to take his second and gets it to fall in. 20 seconds left in the half here.
An interesting thing about this game is the Red Raiders are second in the NEC conference, and Fairport is second in the ESC conference.
Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of competition here. Fairport playing some good defense to end this half. And that was Kapostasi with that shot there. Clock slowly ticks away. Mike Baker now with it, tosses it up and over the hoop. Doesn't get it to happen.
Well, the only team that's ahead of the Raiders in their conference is the Lakeside Dragons.
And hopefully Lakeside can slip here and tie up with Harvey. Well, that's the end of the half here. Your Harvey Red Raiders lead it 38-33.
And let's take a look at our sponsors quickly. And they are Johnson's Funeral Home,
American Roll Formed Products,
Bertone's Gas and Service Center,
DC Catering,
Artful Hands Studio,
First Church Congregational,
at Wick's End,
Repairs Unlimited,
Headlands IGA,
Palutro Insurance,
Scores Fun Center and Lasertron,
and Silvestro's. And once again, the score is 38-33. Raiders have a 5-point advantage. And we'll be back with second half action right after this. everyone, and welcome back to WHHS Channel 30's broadcast of Red Raider basketball. And as we get ready to start off the second half here, the Red Raiders lead it 38-33. Sam Hess now has the ball for the Skippers, and he's going to drive right through the Raiders' defense. Doesn't get it to fall, though, and Kapostasi is going to come up with it now. Kapostasi from behind the arc trying to get the ball. Doesn't get it to happen. Jason Lynch now has it. He's going to toss it out to Aaron Donovan. Donovan's looking to get something started. He's going to swing it over to Hess. Hess pops it back out to Ron Hibbard. Hibbard over to Jason Lynch. Jason Lynch takes a shot. Won't get the ball. Turner finally comes down with the rebound. Turner now racing down the court. He's going to right around Lynch. Doesn't get it to fall. Nice move. Just couldn't finish it. Donovan tossed it out to Kapostasi. And that's going to be out of bounds on the Skippers.
Good call by the referees there, Mike.
One more note for the Skippers. I think Ben Suzinski is going to be out for the game. He might come back. He looks like he did something to the ankle as he hobbled out at the end of the half. Raiders now have it. McLean is going to toss it out over there to Odell Parker. Odell Parker's going to toss it to Phillips. Phillips taking the quick jumper right off the back iron. It's going to be tipped back in there by Brian Phillips. Turner now comes up with it. It's going to toss it over to McLean. McLean trying to get that dunk. Doesn't get to happen, but he gets the ball to fall in.
And they're looking for the dunk here tonight.
42-33, the Raiders lead it. Sam Hess now has it. He's going to toss over there to Aaron Donovan. Donovan's going to find Kapostasi. Doesn't get it to fall. Now Brian Phillips comes with the rebound. And they might call Cody Kapostasi there in that foul.
And Sean Turner's going to be inbounding it to Odell Parker.
Parker gives it back to Turner, and Turner's going to take it up the court here for the Red Raiders. Turner looking to get something started, slices right through the defense, tries to get it to McLean, doesn't get it to happen. Skipper ball. Ron Hibbert taking a moment to talk to the ref, and now he's going to toss it out to Jason Lynch. Lynch to start off with the ball, loses it, picks it back up though, looking for somebody. Phillips playing some good defense. Kapostasi takes a shot, and McLean comes down with the rebound. No good. Now Sean Turner has the ball. He's going to toss it over there to Ivan Pinkett. Ivan Pinkett going for three. Gets it to fall. That's the first three of the evening for Ivan Pinkett.
And nice shot.
Now
Ivan Pinkett.
Timeout will be called. I'm going to take a moment to tell you about someone on the girls basketball team. As we may or may not know, Burger King has a high school athlete of the week, and we're asking that you please vote for Harvey's Tamika Alston. This past week, she's been averaging 14 points per game and 11 rebounds for the Lady Raider basketball team. And they are taking votes now until 9 a.m. Monday morning, and you can vote at www.voteforbk.com. And there's one vote there per email. And tell everyone about it. Tamika's been doing a great job for the Lady Raider basketball team.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see her win that too. Get some positive stuff for Harvey.
Positive things to say about that Lady Raider basketball team. Well, the Raiders have quickly turned this into a 12-point game now. And they've been on a 7-0 run from the beginning of the third quarter. Kapostasi now to start it off for the Fairport Skippers. Everybody's getting set. Now he's looking for somebody. Tries to get to Hibbert. Turner blocks it. Gets back to Kapostasi. And Parker tried to sink the three there. And foul was called, though, on Sean Turner.
And Odell Parker's probably looking for that three here tonight because he hasn't had one yet.
Kapostasi now started off with it once again. It's going to find Sam Hess. Hess going to take it up the court here, trying to get past Odell Parker. Parker playing some good defense, so he's going to find Jason Lynch. Lynch all out on the right wing all by himself. Looking for somebody, tosses it out to Sam Hess. Hess gives it over there to Aaron Donovan. Donovan back to Hess. Hess looking, trying to get around Parker. Gives it over to Lynch. Lynch to Donovan. Donovan's going to get it over to Kapustashi. He's going to take the quick two, and it's going to bounce off the iron. And now Sam Hess comes up with the rebound. Gets it out to Hibbard. Hibbard to Lynch. That's not going to fall in. Brian Phillips comes down with the rebound. Now Sean Turner has the ball. Tosses it out to Ivan Pinkett. I think that was intended for McLean. Turner's going to instead get to Parker. Parker for the quick two. Bounces around the iron and in. Your score is now 47-33. 9 straight points for the Raiders. Hibbard now has it for the Skippers. He's going to take that quick jump shot. Won't get it to fall. Odell Parker comes up with it. Races back down the court. Going to toss it out to Sean Turner. Turner thinking about the three. Instead takes another three. Won't get it to fall. Turner comes up with the rebound, though, after being tipped by Hibbard. He's going to really give it to McLean. McLean can't lay it in. Lynch comes down with the rebound. Hibbard's now going to toss it out to Kapustashi, who gets 2 points, their first of the third quarter.
That was a nice pass there to Kapustashi.
And it took 3.5, though, to Skippers to get on the board here. And Parker's going to come up with that rebound and tosses it right back in. 49-35, the Raiders lead it. Hibbard now has the ball for the Skippers. He's going to toss it to Sam Hess. Hess gives it up to Donovan. Ivan Pinkett guarding him real close. They're playing real tight defense. Lynch is going to take the three, and he's going to airball that out of bounds.
And you can see the Skippers team is starting to show a little bit of fatigue here in the third period.
And Ben Suzinski will make it back in. I think this is his first playing action since the first quarter. And he'll give Aaron Donovan a break. Ivan Pinkett now has it. And I think Fairport's problem is that they don't like to do a lot of substitutions. Turner thought about the three, instead passed to Phillips. And Suzinski came up with a steal. Now Parker takes it back from Suzinski. Parker going to take a moment here. Sam Hess and Suzinski playing some good defense together. Parker gets it back, though. He's going to give it to McLean. McLean looking for somebody. Going to find Phillips. Phillips trying with a nice move. Doesn't get it to fall. And I think he'll get to the line. Ron Hibbard going to get called for the foul. I believe that's his third on the evening. Actually, it's his fourth. He's close to fouling out already. Phillips won't get his first shot to sink. Andy West now coming in for Ron Hibbard of the Skippers. And let's see how Phillips handles this next foul shot. And that one won't fall either. An unsuccessful trip at the line for Phillips. Parker tries to get the steal, but Kapustashi comes up with it. Sam Hess now up for the three. Not going to get the fall. Right in Ivan Pinkett's hands. Pinkett racing up the course, going to get to Parker. Parker had to stop there. Turner now alone for the three. Doesn't get it to fall. Ivan Pinkett's going to get the rebounds. Throws it inbound to Brian Phillips. Phillips alone for the two. Won't get that to fall. McLean comes in with the rebound. And that was a clean block. Believe that or not. Andy West comes up with it. It's going to get it to Hess. Hess now to Suzinski. And Parker tried to get the steal. And they're going to call it foul. I think that was a good acting job.
Yeah. Yes, it was, Mike. It didn't even look like Odell hit him that hard at all. Little bump maybe. He went flying all over the place.
Nonetheless, the Skippers will get the ball once again. They're going to feed it to Suzinski, who's down by the post, and they're going to call a jump ball.
That's
going to be a Raiders
there.
ball.
He had Raiders on all sides. He had nowhere to go with that one.
Well, they're learning how to close down that post. Well, the 5 minutes passed in this quarter. The Skippers have only mustered 2 points. Turner for the quick two, and looks like his back might be acting up again. We definitely don't need that.
I know, that'd be tough to see here after such a good winning streak, you know, to have Sean Turner go down.
Well, let's see if it affects his free throw shooting. And that's not going to fall in.
You know that's upsetting Sean because he takes a lot of pride in shooting his free throws, rather.
And I think the Fairport fans are getting to Sean. They've been nagging him all quarter. Kevin Nelson Jr. and Mike Baker coming into the game now. Nelson Jr. replacing Pinkett, and Mike Baker to replace Ray McLean. Hopefully Sean can get the second to fall. And he does. 50-35 is now the score. From a 5-point lead to 15 in the third. Ben Suzinski now has the ball, thinking about driving it, tosses over to Kapostashi. Instead, Sam Hess gets it. Hess now looking to go the other way, being guarded very closely by Mike Baker. Going to toss it to Lynch. Lynch is going to throw it in. 50-37 is now your score. Odell Parker now has the ball. And they're going to call that against Parker. Kapostashi now gives it over to Hess. Hess back to Kapostashi. He's going to challenge that defense, puts up the shot, bounces right out, and Turner comes up with the rebound. Sean Turner now has it. It's going to toss over to Mike Baker. Mike Baker for three. Gets it to fall in. Nice shot by Mike Baker. Your score is now 53-37. 16-point lead now for the Raiders, and I believe that's their biggest all evening. Ben Suzinski going to swing it out to Adam West. West to Lynch, and he'll get it to fall in. Phillips quickly tossing it over to Sean Turner. Turner, and they're going to call that on Turner. And the Raiders have got to watch how they're handling that ball.
Exactly, Mike. Here comes a lot of the fouls now. As we saw in the last game. In the third quarter, they seem to struggle a little bit with the fouls.
Coach Starkey seems to be a little upset with the calling there. He doesn't seem to be understanding why they're calling it.
I believe Coach Starkey also got a tech in the last game, a technical foul.
Kapostashi is going to throw it out to Suzinski. Suzinski to take it up the court here. He's going to press it out to Adam West. West thinking about the shot. Instead, is going to take it through the middle. Tries to throw it in. Doesn't get it to happen. Phillips comes up with the rebound. Tosses it out to Mike Baker. Baker thinking about that three. Instead, swings it out to Parker. Parker for three. Bounces off the front iron. Phillips comes up with the rebound. Phillips going to throw it out to Mike Baker. Baker just barely kept it in bounds. Gives it up to Phillips, though. And Coach Starkey calls a timeout for the Raiders.
And Coach Starkey looks a little bit irritated. Now that they're on a timeout, let's take a look at our sponsors one more time.
We have Larry's Pizza,
Douglas Route Insurance Agency,
WePlay.com,
Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Palutro Insurance,
Scores Fun Center and Lasertron,
and Silvestro's. Now with 6.5 gone from that quarter, Fairport's only got 6 on the board. That's unbelievable.
and Fairport's having a tough quarter here.
The Raiders are coming out and playing very well on both sides of the ball.
They definitely are, Mike. It's good to see, too.
Parker going to inbounds it now for the Red Raiders. Waiting for everybody to get set up. And Parker will start off with it. Looking for somebody. Adam Delamont's now in the game for the Raiders. Going to find Mike Baker. Baker to Parker. Parker to Delamont. Delamont should challenge Lynch, and I think he's going to. Rejected by Lynch. Delamont's going to throw that out of bounds on Adam West.
All right, good move by Adam to keep the Raiders in possession of the ball.
Well, in battle one of the big men, so far Fairport's won. Delamont now is going to toss it over Lynch, and the battle's even. But the score is 55-39, Raiders advantage. Kapostashi going to throw it to Lynch. Lynch back to Kapostashi. Kapostashi tried to make that shot, didn't get the fall. Odell Parker comes up with the rebound. Odell Parker now looking for somebody to find Sean Turner. Turner deep in three land, thinking about the shot. Instead, jukes out Donovan. Whip to Delamont, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Mr. Lynch. And instead it'll be Adam West. His second of the evening. So Delamont now takes a trip to the stripe, tosses up his first, and that's going to bounce right out. Sam Hess now back in for the Skippers, replacing Adam West. Belmont to take his second here, and that one's not going to fall either, but Mike Baker comes up with the rebound. Tosses out to Austin Jr. for three, just short. And now Aaron Donovan comes up with it, tosses it over to Lynch. Lynch is looking for somebody, finds Sam Hess. Hess back to Lynch. Lynch over to Kapostashi. Kapostashi going to swing it around to Hess. And Mike Baker comes up with the steal. Right place, right time for Baker.
And Baker's starting to have a pretty decent game. Coming down with that nice rebound.
Starting to get some minutes. And I believe that's a little too deep for Turner to take the shot. So he's going to play around a little bit with Fairport. Going to toss it to Parker. Parker for three. Gets it to fall.
And that's good to see Odell Parker starting to hit them threes.
58-39, the lead is now up to 19. And Hess tries to throw up a desperation shot. Extremely short, though. Well, at the end of the third quarter here, your score is the Red Raiders 58, the Fairport Skippers 39. And again, 6 points in the third quarter for the Skippers and 20 for the Raiders. And that's just not going to get it done. Not if
Definitely not, Mike. You know, you need to step it up a little bit playing against this tough Harvey squad.
And they knew that coming in here. When a team has won 7 straight games, you know they're quite high on themselves.
Yep. Well, let's take a second to look at our sponsors. Johnson's Funeral Home.
American Roll Formed Products.
Bertone's Gas and Service Center.
DC Catering.
Artful Hands Studio.
First Church Congregational.
At Wick's End.
Repairs Unlimited.
Headlands IGA.
Palutro Insurance.
Scores Fun Center and Lasertron.
And Silvestro's. So at the start of the fourth, Fairport's got quite a hill to climb. 19 points.
And as we were saying before, you know, it's going to take a little bit more to beat the Harvey Red Raiders in 6 points a quarter.
They've been averaging just 13.
Just by looking at the Skippers, you can tell they're getting a little bit tired. I think it's about time they start subbing in some players.
But when you have about 7 and 8 players in the game, that's not going to work. Hess now being challenged by Alston Jr. Hess is going to get it over to Donovan. Donovan looking, being pressured there by Parker quite nicely. Excuse me, that was Mike Baker. Jason Lynch now gets it, and I believe they're going to call Brian Phillips on that one. No one's going to get a trip to a line here, though. Kapostashi to inbounds for the Skippers. He's going to find Lynch. Lynch looking for somebody. Alston Jr. almost got that stripped away from Hess. Aaron Donovan has it, though. Now it's over to Ron Hibbard. Hibbard looking, drives the lane, swings it out to Lynch with authority, and they get the 2 points. Now Turner cross court to Alston Jr. and a quick 2 for the Raiders. What a way to answer back.
And here comes what we saw the Raiders on Tuesday in the fourth period. They just come out strong and fast, try to put as many points on the board as they can.
Hibbard to take that shot, and it wasn't going to fall. Phillips to toss it to Alston Jr. to Turner, and he gets it to fall. Basket and the foul.
Almost a dunk. He was looking for it there, Mike.
The ball somehow squeaked in that hoop. Let's see if Turner can convert. The score is now 62-41, 21-point lead for the Harvey Red Raiders.
And hopefully Sean can rebound himself from the last 2 foul shots he had.
That was a great play. I think he's finally blocking out those Fairport fans. And he doesn't get that to fall, almost. Fighting for the rebound. Phillips comes up with it, stretches right over Lynch, but doesn't get the fall. Ron Hibbard comes out with the rebound, though. Skippers race down the court. He's going to take a break, tosses out to Aaron Donovan. Donovan going to find Hess. Hess is going to be called for traveling. And Turner just applying that great defense along with Mike Baker and Brian Phillips. Turner now to race down the court, and it seems as if the longer the game goes on, the Raiders just last longer. That was a nice 3 there by Ray McClain.
And I think that's his first.
41.
That's his first on the night.
And I believe Donovan tossed that up. It went nowhere except to Brian Phillips' hands. Mike Baker now has the ball. McClain calling for it. Instead, Turner's going to take it. Turner trying to hop around. Luckily, wasn't called for traveling there. Turner now gets it over to Mike Baker. Baker for three. Doesn't fall in. Jason Lynch with the rebound. Great defense once again, but Lynch is going to find Hibbert. Hibbert's going to toss it to his own cheerleaders. Nice play.
Nail the cheerleaders with that one.
I didn't know we were playing dodgeball here tonight.
I didn't either, Mike.
Now it looks like some substitutions are finally taking place. Adam West and Ben Suzinski on the court now for the Skippers. Sean Turner now to start it up. He's going to toss it out to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett for three, doesn't get the fall, but it falls into McLean's hands, and I believe Lynch hacked
fouled.
him.
He's going to go to the line for two.
And
that's going to be on
Mr. Lynch. See how many fouls he has. That's going to put the Raiders in the bonus. And that's the third on the night for Jason Lynch. And McLean won't get the first one to fall, and they've been falling apart at that stripe. They should be happy they have such a big lead.
I know.
If it was a close game, these shots would be really dependent on. They'll get that second one to fall, though, 66-41.
And it's not very common you see Sean or Ray miss a foul shot.
Then Suzinski now is going to toss it out to Lynch. Lynch is going to throw it right to Hibbert. Hibbert lays it in. Easy play for the Skippers. But it looks as if Sean Turner's got a mission on his mind to get them points right back. Nice shot, but doesn't get it to fall in. Now Hibbert's going to toss it to Suzinski. Suzinski's got to take a break and
traveled.
Oh, a little stutter step there to the basket. Now Parker has it for the Raiders. Going to find Ray McLean for another three. Almost looked like that was going to go and didn't happen. And it's going to be a Raiders ball.
Well, now Ray's starting to put some points up on the board.
And it will be interesting to see how many points
and
Ray McLean and Sean Turner have.
Sean Turner's going to the line.
Zach
Apparently.
Brubeck now coming in for McLean.
He was fouled by Andy West.
That would be Andy West's third. The only one really in foul trouble for the Skippers is Mr. Ron Hibbert. Turner now has it. And is going to toss it up. Gets the first one to fall in.
And that's good to see. It looks like he's settled down a little bit. Having a little bit more luck with those foul shots now.
5.5 to go here in the game. Your Raiders lead at 67-43. Sean trying to extend the lead to 25. And he'll get it to go in. 68-43 is now the score. Delamont coming in to the game. That's going to take out Brian Phillips. Well, Hibbert's going to get Suzinski back to Hibbert. Hibbert's been pretty pass happy this evening. And he's going to whip that out to Jason Lynch. Lynch over to Suzinski. Suzinski trying to get some picks set up for him. Doesn't get it to happen. He's going to toss it out to Lynch, and Lynch is going to throw it away. Parker now has it, tosses it into Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett going to race up the court and throws it to Turner. Turner for three. Gets it to fall.
And there we go. Sean's getting back on track.
71-43. That was either number 4 or number 5 of the evening for Turner. He's having one great evening here. Hess now to Suzinski. Suzinski looking. He's going to find Mr. West. West looking for somebody. Gets it out to Hess. Hess is going to drive it around the right wing. Tosses it over to Suzinski. Suzinski is going to take it behind the arc and gets it to fall. And that's the way to answer back. 71-46. The Raiders lead it. Ivan Pinkett now going to slow things down a bit. Gets it over to Brubeck. Brubeck back to Pinkett. Pinkett back to Brubeck. Brubeck thinking about it. Instead finds Turner. Turner to Delamont. Tosses it over. Hibbert doesn't get the fall. Too much of a soft touch on that shot. Sam Hess now has it, and Turner's playing a little bit behind Hess's back. Hibbert has it, whips it to Suzinski. And I think that was called on Hibbert. And a whole new set of substitutions coming in now. Andrew Booth, who will be seeing his first action this evening, along with Kevin Nelson Jr. and Mike Baker. Jason Lynch comes up with that after being closely guarded by Andrew Booth. Ron Hibbert has it now. Gets it over to Suzinski. Suzinski tries to swing it around. Hibbert there, Andy West there to clean it up and gets the 2 points. 71-48, Raiders lead it. Mike Baker now has it. Looking for somebody. He's going to find Austin Jr. Austin Jr. whipping it over to Brubeck. Brubeck for three. Doesn't get it to fall. Hibbert comes down with the rebound. Hibbert's going to take it up the court, and he's going to toss it over to Lynch. Lynch now, oh, nice move by Jason Lynch to get the 2 points. 71-50 is now the score. Skipper's slowly cutting away at that lead. Austin Jr. with a nice move. Doesn't get it to finish, though. Gets his own rebound, though. Puts it back, doesn't get the fall. And let's see who they'll call for the foul there. And it's going to be Jason Lynch. 1-1 for Kevin Austin Jr. And I believe that's Jason Lynch's fourth. So let's see how Austin Jr. takes to this 1-1.
And Harvey's got all their fresh guys in now, and Fairport's just running on empty. They've most of their guys have been playing all night, so.
Austin will get that first one to fall in. And Fairport's not used to playing in these high-scoring games, so I'm sure they're getting quite worn out. And again, he's going to sink that second one. 73-50 is now the score. In fact, Fairport likes to keep the game around 59 points both ways. Zach Brubeck comes up with the steal. Nice defense. He's going to toss to Austin Jr. Hess trying to reach in, and Raiders will retain the ball. And he's going to get a trip to the foul line once again, another 1-1.
That's good to see. Austin Jr.'s have some luck at the foul line already tonight.
So he just got 2 free points. Let's see if he'll take another 2 away. That first one will fall out, and Robert Hibbert comes down with it. Hibbert now racing up the court. He's going to toss it. No look to Lynch, but Brubeck was right there, and they're going to say Brubeck touched the line.
Zach Brubeck's having a pretty decent night with the steals.
He's playing all alone down in the post, and he's doing a good job.
I agree.
And now number 23, Jason Lambert, coming in for the first time for the Skippers this evening. Sam Hess all alone in 3 land. I think he got tipped there by Austin Jr. Andy West comes down with the rebound, having a little trouble handling the ball, and Austin Jr. steals it away. Austin Jr. now racing down the court with the rest of the Raiders, looking for something. He's going to whip it back to Mike Baker. Doesn't get the fall, and Mr. West comes away with it. And I think they're going to call that on Mike Baker. His second of the evening. 2:55 to go here, and you could almost say this game's over. But it's not over until it's over, I guess. Nonetheless, Sam Hess has the ball now for the Skippers. Looking for somebody, finds Jason Lynch on the right wing. Delamont's going to challenge him, though. Lynch is just going to play around with it. Clock is ticking, buddy. You need to get something going. Gives it to Sam Hess. Hess going to get it over there to Lambert. Lambert back to Lynch. Lynch for 3. Doesn't happen. Lambert tries to get the rebound. Can't hold on to it. Delamont now going to toss it to Baker. Baker just stops. Gets his Raiders set. Tosses it back to Austin Jr. Jr. for the quick jump shot. Gets it to fall in. Nice shot for Austin Jr. And now a timeout called, I believe, by the Raiders. 75-50 is now the score. Raiders lead it by 25. They've led it by as many as 28.
And since we got another second, let's take a quick look at our sponsors.
Johnson's Funeral Home.
Larry's Pizza.
Douglas Route Insurance Agency.
WePlay.com.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
American Roll Form Products.
Bertone's Gas and Service Center.
DC Catering.
Artful Hand Studio.
First Church Congregational.
At Wick's End.
Repairs Unlimited.
Headlands IGA.
Palutro Insurance.
Scores Fun Center and Lasertron.
And Silvestro's Depot Cafe.
2:20 now left in this game. Skippers now start off with the ball. Sam has to take it up the court. Down by 25, not much you can do. Sam Hess, though, is looking, gets it over to Andy West. West is going to get to Hibbard, and Morgan Lewis is now in for the first time, along with James Thompson and Tim Lemazny. They got a lot of JV starters out there now.
Yeah, they do, Mike.
Giving
Giving a lot of
some,
their starters a break.
And also give the JV players some varsity experience. They're going to need it. Well, Andy West is going to toss it to Lynch, and Lynch is easily going to throw in the basket. 75 to 52, I believe, should be the score. Morgan Lewis now going to toss it to Austin Jr. Back to Lewis. Lewis to Brubeck. Brubeck thinking about it. Gets it back to Lewis. Lewis to Brubeck. And now back to Lewis. Lewis is going to get it to Lemazny this time over to Austin Jr. Austin Jr. looking, trying to put it up. Doesn't happen. Ends up in Mr. Lambert's hands. Lambert tosses to Hess. Hess over to Andy West. West tries to put it up and is blocked by Morgan Lewis. West over to Jason Lambert. Lambert over to Lynch. Lynch over to Hibbard. Hibbard back to Andy West. Andy West trying to take it now. And he'll put it up and gets to fall in. 75 to 54. 4 quick points for the Skippers. Morgan Lewis now to start things off. Thinking about that three, gets over to Brubeck. Brubeck to Thompson. Now it's going to go back to Lemazny, and looked like Ron Hibbard kicked that out of bounds there.
Using a little feet tactic.
We'll see some new Skippers coming in. Number 10, Jake Smith. Number 30, Ed Sharp. And number 32, Tom McLaughlin. So it looks like some of their guys that are sitting on the bench will get some experience as well. Austin Jr. now to Tim Lemazny. Lemazny to Thompson. Thompson going to swing it back to Austin Jr. Jr. thinking about that three. Not going to happen. Gets to Thompson. Thompson to Lewis. Lewis for three. Doesn't get it to fall. Zach Brubeck trying to get that rebound, and instead Ed Sharp's going to pick it up. Sharp's going to get it to Hess. Hess over to Lambert. Lambert going to get blocked by Morgan Lewis. And Brubeck's going to come up with it. Tosses it out to Lewis. A little ahead of Lewis, but Lewis picks it up. Austin Jr. now has it. He's going to toss it over there to Brubeck. Brubeck for three. Doesn't get it to fall. And Sharp looked like he tried to get the rebound. Doesn't happen. And Thompson's going to get called for double dribble.
Ooh, tough call on James Thompson with a double dribble.
Number 25 now coming into the game for the Skippers, Stephen Noe. Andrew Booth now coming in. And he'll be replacing Austin Jr. Looks like a whole nother basketball game out there on the court.
Looks like the one we already saw, actually, Mike.
McLaughlin now starting it off for the Skippers. Going to get it to Jake Smith. Smith trying to feed it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin wasn't looking. Picked up by Morgan Lewis. Lewis is going to take the quick jump shot. Gets to fall in. 77 to 54 is now your score. Jason Lambert to start things off here. Lambert's having a little trouble handling that ball, but he gets it over there to Ed Sharp. Sharp trying to find somebody, puts up the shot, and instead it's going to be picked up by Brubeck. Brubeck's going to toss it to Lemazny. Lemazny looking for the points and gets it to fall in. 79 to 54. That clock is ticking down, though. Jake Smith to McLaughlin, and it looks like he won't beat the buzzer. In fact, nobody will. And what a game that was.
Well, Mike, let's take a look at our sponsors and then we'll come back with our post-game wrap-up. And the sponsors for tonight's game are
Johnson's Funeral Home,
Larry's Pizza,
Douglas Route Insurance Agency,
WePlay.com,
Kentucky Fried Chicken,
American Roll Form Products,
Bertone's Gas and Service Center,
DC Catering,
Artful Hands Studio,
First Church Congregational,
At Wick's End,
Repairs Unlimited,
Headlands IGA,
Palutro Insurance,
Scores Fun Center and Lasertron,
and Silvestro's Depot Cafe. Well, Mike, tonight was an interesting game, and what do you got to say about it?
Well, your final score here is the Red Raiders 79, the Fairport Skippers 54, and it just looked like the Fairport Skippers ran out of gas and just didn't have enough talent to hang with Harvey.
Well, Mike, that extends Harvey's winning streak now to 8 games.
Harvey will play Madison out of the PAC, which they're in second place in the PAC as well. That should make for a great matchup.
Yes,
well, that's it here in John D'Angelo Gymnasium for WHHS Channel 30. I'm Mike Williams.
And I'm Mark Hackley.
We'll see you next time. Everyone, have a great evening.